There is a lot of damn Vaporwave, like a lot. Vaporwave has always been unbelievably interesting to me. It's a music genre and art movement that spawned in the early 2010s that has taken the underground online music community to some pretty interesting places ever since it came to be. From hypnagogic style Vaporwave to mall soft, vapor trap to hard vapor, and everything in between, it can be pretty easy to find yourself getting lost in the massive virtual jungle of Vaporwave releases. So today, I'm going to share with you my choices for the 107 best Vaporwave albums of all time and give you a nutritional blueprint on the Vaporwave scene. A diverse palette of different albums from different subgenres you'll be able to choose from to truly give you the best overall vapor experience for whatever mood you're in. So sit back, pop open a Crystal Pepsi, and let's dive into some of the best the Vaporwave genre has to offer. From essential classics to underrated gems, this list is in no particular order in regards to a ranking system or anything like that, just what I believe to be our prime and go-to albums that represent the genre's diversity perfectly. I also want to give a huge shout out to my Discord for suggestions on albums and always providing an interesting ground for discussion on Vaporwave and everything about it. So anyway, let's dive right into it. Disconscious, Hologram Plaza. Hologram Plaza's numb and haunted landscapes of sound make you somehow long for the feeling of abandonment and emptiness, trapped in a roadside mini-mall knowing you're about to waste your hard-earned money on things you don't need. Telepath, capability beyond the reality. Gentle and soft to the touch, the brilliance of Telepath's work can only be felt, not listened. You're gonna be here for a while, my friend. George Clanton, 100% electronica. Georgie falls just on the edge of Vaporwave here with almost this blend of Vaporwave and Chillwave. You got your heavy serving of 80s influence here, almost like a modern day Flashdance or glam era Bowie, and in 2015 was a juggernaut release to come out of Bandcamp. VHS Dreams, North Point Mall. A satirical take on consumerist energy never seems so inviting. North Point Mall will make you want to drop what you're doing and rush to your nearest shopping mall to buy what you can't even afford. Shop till you drop with this vapor classic. Daniel Lopatin, Chuck Person's Echo Jams Volume 1. Considered to be the first true Vaporwave album, Echo Jams Volume 1 brought a unique style of chopping, manipulating, and dragging samples to the table. Welcome to the world of Vaporwave. Eyeliner, Buy Now. From hypnagogic to fun, here we have an album that'll warp you back in time to playing CD-ROM games in the mid to late 90s. Buy Now is wacky, it's cheesy, and wobbly, just like we remember all those educational games to be. Groceries, Yes We're Open. My personal favorite Vaporwave album of all time, Yes We're Open will make you feel like you woke up in a grocery store in the middle of the night. Locked from the inside, you decide to venture its long and colorful aisles. Is anyone else here? Golden Living Room, New Nostalgia. Flood yourself in this ambient habitat. This album soothes your mind, a complete rewiring of your senses and a massage for the soul. 2814, Birth of a New Day. Cyberpunk meets Vaporwave in this ambient masterpiece, a true essential for anyone looking to escape the real world and experience dystopian life in this city full of pink and purple neon lights, clouded by non-stop heavy rainfall. Vapor, Manipool, a vapor trap classic. Vapor's Manipool is a fun and exciting ride from start to end. Heavy 808s, tripping hi-hats, all dipped in an aquatic vibe. Before we keep going, just wanted to remind you to like the video if you can and subscribe for more Vaporwave content, as doing so will be a huge help for the channel and continue its growth. Also, let me know in the comments below what your favorite Vaporwave album of all time is. Blank Banshee Zero. The first release of Blank Banshee Zero took the internet by storm by perfectly executing all the musical trends at the time in an interesting way. Technology meets vapor trap in this debut album of genius. Blank Banshee 1, the sophomore album of Blank Banshee and follow-up to Blank Banshee Zero. Blank Banshee 1 just took everything great about Blank Banshee Zero and made it better. Another amazing experience. Blank Banshee Mega. My personal favorite release from BB, Mega delivers with a unique style that truly separates it from Blank Banshee Zero and Blank Banshee 1. It sounds like a meteor crashed into a desert oasis and all these ancient Egyptian artifacts started bumping into each other and making sounds. Yeah, I can't tell if that's a stretch with that one, but hey, that's what it sounds like. VHS Logos Mantra. A Vaporwave vacation through a VHS tape with songs averaging between a minute to 2 minutes. Everything is sweet and to the point. Electric Spectre, Arctic Circuitry. Cold and haunting, this album's artwork perfectly portrays how I feel when hearing this thing. An experimental listen so cold it chills the bones. Very weird, very out there, and an exciting direction to take Vaporwave in. St. Pepsi, Hip Vibes. St. Pepsi's Holy Grail, a true crossroads of Vaporwave and future funk, summer lifestyles and urban block parties are just a pair of headphones away. get listening. Luxury Elite and St. Pepsi, Late Night Delight. The unforgettable collaboration album between two vapor legends, L&D is going to make you hungry for that late night Big Mac. Influenced by 80s and 90s fast food commercials, Late Night Delight comes to life and presents Vaporwave in its classic, truest form. Infinity Frequencies Euphoria. Classic-style Vaporwave that hits hard, Euphoria is icy and strong. Dense instrumentation all backed up with some airy drums. Sounds like you're preparing to fight the bad guy in some 1980s action blockbuster. Luxury Elite, World Class. Laid back and rewarding, World Class will make you feel like you just completed the business deal of a lifetime, standing triumphantly atop a lonely skyscraper in the late 1980s. It's finally time to take your accumulated vacation hours. Color Television, Tonight. Are you throwing a party this weekend? Make sure you hit this Future Funk Fiesta starter up. It'll definitely get people grooving. Smooth and stylish. Architecture in Tokyo, Summer Paradise. Just like the name of the album, brace yourself for immense heat, beach balls, and that smell of sunscreen. This sizzling lo-fi vaporwave release is your opportunity for that much-needed tropical escape. Surfing, Deep Fantasy. Australian duo Surfing present a blend of vaporwave and 80s yacht rock, mixing sampling with actual instrumentation. Skeleton. Eerie, unsettling, and dark, this album is the monster under your bed at night, a true dystopia. Power PCME, Kmart 1989 to 1992. With the discovery of the infamous Kmart tapes, it was only a matter of time until someone took that gold mine of vapor potential and turned it into something. PPCME was the man to step up to the plate. Don't Be 43 Degrees. An absolute personal favorite of mine. Here we got this groovy, funkadelic boat ride that makes you feel like you're in a water level of a Nintendo 64 game. Telepath and Vaporer, Transcendental Love. A collaboration between Telepath and Vaporer, this album is an ambient masterpiece of synth jazz, toned down cyberpunk, and catchy repetitiveness. Across 8299, A Million Miles Away. An album that will make you dance from morning to sunfall. AMMA has heavy care for its production value and substance, a future funk album hard to dethrone as one of the greats. Light by Milk. From odd intensities to smooth chillin', this album is one hell of a ride and sounds incredible. From trap-inspired measures to some well-placed samples, By Milk won't be expiring anytime soon. Cobalt Road, Purgatory. Sedated, atmospheric vapor trap whose quality has not yet been replicated, sewn together with engaging beat structures and dreamy chords, this is the perfect album to lie flat on your back in an open field to, admiring the deep blue sky blotted by puffs of white above. 2814, Rain Temple. Vaporwave titans HKE and Telepath team up again for another beloved ambient and futuristic feel on this 8-track masterclass release. With not one track under 7 minutes long, you'll be posted up in the Rain Temple for quite a while, so get cozy. Death's Dynamic Shroud, When Lost Regret. This album explores depressive and somber tones with themes of longing for a previous love, expressed both through the titles of the songs and the songs themselves. James Ferraro, Farside Virtual. A Jurassic pioneer of Vaporwave, Farside Virtual shined light on our odd interest in hyper-consumerism, 90s retrofuturism, and influence in advertising. The Mesh Dream Sequence. As TinyMixtapes.com said it best, this album is pure emotional manipulation. Give it a try. St. Pepsi, New Generation. 2013 was the year of St. Pepsi, and with New Generation we simply have another groovy, creative, dance-inducing Vaporwave future funk production. Just more masterclass from St. Pepsi's incredible run as a Vaporwave artist. Telepath, A Country of Dreams. More looping ambient greatness from the legendary Telepath, not much more I can say here, during the prime of his renowned 2013-2015 era of releases. Camino 84, Yacht Rock Breaks. Can't afford that Miami vacation? No worries, dude. Let Camino 84 be your tour guide through the virtual highway of sound, sights, and the grandest looking sunset you think you've ever seen. Toned down and domesticated future funk that won't give you a sweet tooth, this thing gets to the point and it's saucy as hell. Blood Waves, Hotel Vibes. A smooth Vaporwave classic, Hotel Vibes will make you want to take a late night stroll through a lukewarm tourist spot. Prism Corp Virtual Enterprises, Home. This album is the future imagined in 3D rendered dream homes. Vectroid's providing of true modern aesthetics makes this track list pair wonderfully with the art style, hollow yet sophisticated. Cat System Corp, Audi. Car-themed Vaporwave, sparkling memories of early car commercials and sprawling showrooms. Cat System Corp manages to capture a perfect mood with this album, with almost every song being top-notch work, all but unmatched today. Even just tracks as Luxury Sedan or A4 1997 beat out entire albums in their supreme quality and catchiness. Cat System Corp, here I am. An incredibly diverse Vaporwave album containing over 20 meaty and well-produced Vapor bangers. From funky to breezy, Corp brings us into what a real Vaporwave universe would sound like, and I don't think you're ever going to want to leave. Cat System Corp, Pall Mall. Listening to this will make you crave every mall wandering experience, from biting into a buttery pretzel to throwing a penny in the grand and triumphant water fountain situated at the center of the mall. Cat System Corp, Pall Mall Mars. The highly awaited sequel of Pall Mall Mars executes everything we love about the mall soft subgenre, yet sounds refreshing, exciting, and brilliant. Corp, you're a Vaporwave killer, brother. Echo Virtual Atmospheres 2. Part of a 4-piece series, Atmospheres 2 is a well-executed, tropical, airy, and weather-inspired vapor trap head rocker. Hong Kong Express 2046. Flirty saxophones oddly paired with warped-out synths, 2046 is an homage to the feelings of Wong Kar-wai films. Underground Bar and Midnight Market are two tracks that always hit for me on this HKE classic. Diskette Romances. Only 10 minutes in length, this self-titled piece known as Diskette Romances is widely known as one of the cornerstones of classic vapor. Young Bay. Charmingly cheap, Bay is a radio quality sounding future funk banger with a heavy texture of cheapness, but its dedication to this vibe makes it an easygoing, careless boogie wonderland. Esprit Virtua.zip. Wonderful mastering and an extremely universal flow from track to track, Virtua.zip is a great play for any mood or atmosphere. One of the most inviting Vaporwave pieces ever made. Barb Walters Reconnect. The meta of 2018 future funk has pretty much come down to fresh, unique, original sounding chops and loops while staying to that true classic hypnotizing future funk formula. And that's exactly what you got here. With songs that beg for your attention, Barb Walters will get you dancing in your office chair. Vanity Fantasy Midnight Apartment. Your ticket to urban escapism, this album is a dreamy, soul-searching venture into those hours of the night where nothing's open and you wish you put on a heavier jacket. Viper, Yule Cowards Don't Even Smoke Crack. Bandcamp rap mixtapes and a meme pretty much had a child with this thing. Although released in 2008, it feels like this man and this release somehow has a home in the hearts of the Vaporwave community. Groceries, Housewares. The perfect follow-up to Yes We're Open, Groceries delivers once again with some of the truest Vaporwave there is. Blurry, droning, and corrupted samples all come into play here. If you ever wanted to get locked inside a sketchy fruit market, here's your chance. Internet Club or New Deluxe Life, liberated from the world. Chaotic Beauty or pure garbage, you decide. Think of this as the missing no of Vaporwave. Aesthetics Please, Righteous Groove. Future Funk Surgery, just clinical, high intensity, high energy, sunny sounds to brighten your day. A 1980s blast from the past. Ghosting Telenights. Sounding like a television channel you'll always fall asleep to, Telenights provides easy listening while bolts of chaos interrupt you like obnoxious static. An underrated Dream Catalog release. Flamingosis Pleasure Palette. The Flamingo Man himself, who has always been a complete blend of Vaporwave, future funk, and lo-fi hip-hop, delivers us a groovy classic for any time of the year. If you're a fan of retro instrumentals and an eagerness to dance through the day with no shoes on in a field of the nicest cut grass you've ever seen, I'd check this bad baby out. Lacrosse 8299, Sailor Wave. From high-flying 1980s funk to smooth, mellowed-out moments of clarity, Sailor Wave is always a refreshing splash of water upon every listen. HKE HK. Paranormal Vaporwave, a true outer body experience from start to finish. The first track, Ghost, is a serious trip, like you're going through some Vaporwave wormhole, not sure where you're gonna end up. Architecture in Tokyo. Silky, smooth future funk with the ability to accompany you on your sunset driving. More solid stuff from Architecture in Tokyo. Tanning Salon, Dream Castle. Lonely yet soothing, Dream Castle makes me want to take a day off from the office, travel to this thing called the Dream Castle, and lay on its century-old stone floors. If there was a Vaporwave spa, this would be its music source. Epson Midnight Radio Deluxe. Midnight Radio Deluxe is well known for its muted recording textures, mixing the upbeat nature of many of the sample's original intent with relaxing, chill effects manipulation, simultaneously laying your body down and lifting your spirits. Satin Sheets St. Francis. Chilly yet warm, St. Francis has the ability to paint multiple settings in your mind as you listen to it. Jumpy and jovial bass lines, MIDI instruments, and warm synth pads flood this heavily filtered track list. Nouveau Life, New World. Are you fed up with your day-to-day life? Tired of the world you've stood before? We offer only the very best at New World, bringing you a streamlined and premium lifestyle with no blips along the way, guaranteed. WOSX Brazil World Cup 2034, your go-to vaporwave morning workout album. This hard vapor drop from 2016 just sounds like you're sweating bullets running through a South American jungle. Heavy bass line, mambo beats give this thing a spice we haven't seen yet in the subgenre. Phoenix 2772, You Are Already Dead. A vaporwave cult classic, some of the smoothest jazz-centric vapor ever to be created. The masterful sonic quality of this album, combined with its circumventing of each and every one of your expectations, create one of the most interesting albums to come out of this scene. Taspo Simulation Sim Beta. More classic vapor trap from the 2013 and 2015 era of vapor, full of unique, sprawling 808 loops and percussion sources you wouldn't think imaginable. Both the concept and the content of this album carry it to be one of the best vapor trap albums to date. Fantasy Vacant Places. Arguably the first Malsoft album ever created, Vacant Places proposed an interesting concept to vaporwave upon its release with simple short hooks repeated and echoed, creating a vivid atmosphere of a dead mall around you, permeated by the hauntingly dense claustrophobia of the air itself closing in upon you in such a wide open space. Equip I Dreamed of a Palace in the Sky. Vaporwave meets video game music as we explore the various settings, regions, and locations of a mid-90s Super Nintendo JRPG game that never existed. Extremely well produced and lengthy, this is a massively impressive release for Chicago-based artist Equip. New Dreams Ltd, Fuji Grid TV EX. Eerie and hypnotizing, like TV static that melts through the screen. OSC Girls on Bikes. This would have been the perfect 80s TV sitcom soundtrack for a family obsessed in extreme sports. Energetic, fun, and timeless 80s vibes float all over this thing and will have you dreaming of purple shorty shorts and neon-colored cycling helmets. Silver Richards Volume 128. The album cover says it all. Top-line luxury, nostalgic memories of a mid-80s business meeting on a cruise ship. Waterfront Dining Swag. Mine and many others' personal favorite release from Waterfront Dining and possibly one of the best the genre has to offer. The opening track Game is a true classic. Frank Jav C Volume 1.777. Although more of a parody on the genre, YouTube's original and go-to vaporwave boy does provide some seriously cool, crisp, and solid material on this release. Frankie knows how to produce. Childhood. Great sampling, great vibes, and great memories of a 1980s Brooklyn block party you never went to. Future Funk Gold. Lynn's Heaven Virtual Plaza, NTSC Memories. NTSC Memories, especially after all these years, can only be described as nostalgia of the vapor community itself. Boasting catchy loops still unmatched by almost all classic vapor albums to come after it, the album invokes a rich sense of VHS and early television visuals into a condensed audio form on each track. Shopping World JP and St. Pepsi Winner Circle. Grand and powerful, samples warped and looped on this album resemble that of an early holiday shopping commercial for your local mall, so make sure you knock out some shopping for the whole family. Some of St. Pepsi's classic tracks, including Car Park, Private Caller, and Kickstart My Heart, all come from this album. Telepath, Star Intercourse. Top-notch atmospheric bliss that'll put you into a serious trance if the situation's right. Star Intercourse is arguably the best ambient adventure you can take in the vapor universe. The brilliance that is Telepath. Macintosh Plus Floral Shop. The Vaporwave Mecca. If you haven't heard this yet, I would start here. Yoshimi Tokyo Restricted Area. The makeup on the face of the ancient city of Tokyo is plated by concrete, but beneath its antiquities, the city is sick. A sound quarantine from hope, Tokyo Restricted Area's distorted atmosphere is quite hellish indeed. NXXXXS Fujita Scale. One of my favorite trap-inspired releases to date and a vinyl record I'm dying to own. Fujita Scale is colorful, trippy, and full of wanderlust. A dynamic release I would definitely check out if you want some explosive energy. The Darkest Future Floral Shop 2. An album that had a goal of showing people that they would listen to an album for its aesthetic, not even the music that's contained within it. Floral Shop 2 is the ultimate haunted house experience of vaporwave, with little to no rhyme or reason in this riddle of an album. Luxury Elite Fantasy. Lux Elite takes the aesthetics of an office space, removes the roof, and allows some sunlight in with this tropical corporate collection of tracks. Another piece in Lux's solid discography. Windows 96, 100 Mornings. A more recent release, this lo-fi synthwave vapor drop in the summer of 2018 showcases Windows 96 signature style wonderfully with a track list wrapped in a hazy, smoky aura. It's chill, it's laid back, and you can almost taste the vapor on your tongue. Esprit, Summer Night. Summer Night opens its arms and welcomes you into the comfiest room you've ever seen in your life. The epitome of ambiance and smooth vibes, Esprit once again comes up for another big, essential vapor listen. Haircuts for Men, Marble of Fantasy. Wonderful instrumentation and variation, Marble of Fantasy demonstrates Haircuts for Men's talent, placement, and taste in musical production. Death's Dynamic Shroud, I'll Try Living Like This. An absolute fan favorite, I'll Try Living Like This is a beautiful mess. Measures extended for long periods of time, making you feel queasy, and instruments clash and bang into one another, sometimes with little rhyme or reason. An album that may be hard to stomach at first, but once tamed has immense listenability. New Dreams Ltd, Laserdisc Visions. A purebred vaporwave mixtape coming out in the early days of the genre, this is one of the best to ever do it, and just another resume piece for Vectroid's dominance as a vaporwave god. Vapor, Polychromatic Compiler. A radioactive vaporwave fever dream, Polychromatic Compiler might not be the most incredible piece of musical talent from Vapor, but its aesthetic, feel, and colorful artwork create an inevitable journey upon each listen. Internet Club, Redefining the Workplace. This is what it would feel like if you were on your way to the most important meeting of your life, only for the elevator to break down on the way up to it. The soul-crushing grip of corporate lifestyle never seemed like such a waste of years as you reevaluate your life within the confines of this claustrophobic metal box. Summer Love, Dan Mason. The perfect collection of tracks to play as you're driving to your local video rental store. Parallel to a populated shoreline, let this clinical future funk gem from Danny accompany you on your trip. Surfing, Incubo. Everything Surfing did on Deep Fantasy, but better. The Australian duo is back with an album with some serious attitude and taste. Hazy guitar, funk bass lines, and nostalgic synths combined with catchy vocal melodies to create a darker, theatrical side of pop music. Bloodwave, Ultra Dream. An experience through the future waves of the nostalgic dreams. I highly recommend checking out Artsy Music's video mix of this thing on their channel. Really heightens the mood and spirits of the album. Dark Sleep, Obviate. A hellish concoction of sound, Dark Sleep chains us to the back of his music and drags us along with it. From calming to hectic, Obviate is a whirlwind of emotion all wrapped into a 10-song tracklist. Quadratox, 1995. Enter the depths of Vaporwave's dark side as Quadratox holds your hand and walks you through an abyss of explorative capabilities. From aggressive to emotional, this album is a dynamic listen that should not go unnoticed. Death's Dynamic Shroud, Heavy Black Heart. At its core, it may contain some of the sweetest sounding samples and melodies, but once you're in the clutches of DDS's signature manipulation and sound, it's presented as this jarring vortex, sucking you in for more. Vectroid, Neo Kali. A 2011 release originally classified as DOSWave, Neo Kali is one of those Jurassic releases in the timeline of Vapor. 70s and 80s samples can bring a stressed mind to a poolside resort. Chill and refreshing. NXXXXXX, I think that's enough X's, S, Synthetic Corporation. Nested in hip-hop roots, this 2015 Vapor trap hits hard for anyone who loves some good old vocal chopping samples. Give it a try. Christ, Social Justice, Whatever. Remember the song Sandstorm by Darude? It actually came from this album. Christ, No Life Matters. On the other hand here, we have one of the most treacherous sounding Vaporwave pieces with this release. Plunderphonics blanketed in a shroud of darkness. Horrifying vibes and an aura of certain death make this thing feel like not a piece of music, but a piece of forbidden deep web treasure. EV.EXI, Remember. It's a solid salad of energetic drums, jingling little sound effects here and there, and just clever sample chopping. It brings us one of the best future funk albums to date. Vectroid, Color Ocean Road. An album that bursts and boasts in an array of colors. Color Ocean Road would be the major highway system if Vaporwave had its own island. Luxury Elite, Prism. The return of the Vapor goddess herself, Lux Elite is back with this 2018 release. Let us take a trip back to the 80s with the queen herself. It's a celebration. Mesh Pharma. One of the most ambitious albums in the timeline of Vaporwave releases, Pharma crushes with a collage barrage of sound. Terrifying, grand, and tripped out plunderphonics make this thing scream with identity. A track list with the ability to change tones and moods with a snap of a finger. The Mesh is in complete control here. Pangea Climate, a droopy, midnight Aura 2014 Vaporwave release that'll be exactly what you need to wash your stresses away and relax in a too good to be true world of skyscrapers full of spas. US Golf 95, US Golf 95. Swampy synths and simplicity here, with a bouncy bass line behind it all. This will warp you straight to a major golf tournament in the mid-90s, but instead of being a player or a spectator, you'll be chilling jacuzzi style off camera in some mosquito infested bog. Telepath, Another Night Together. Arguably my favorite piece from the master of ambient vaporwave himself, Another Night Together is 2 long tracks painting a night shrouded in mystery, affairs, and questioning of your soulmate. The album art adds to the cloudiness of it all, presenting a piece of music that loops to infinity, trapping you in a lover's trance. George Clanton, 200% Electronica. 200% Electronica combines fully original compositions in Esprit's classic vaporwave style with chopped and screwed samples pulled from George Clanton's own songs. And last but definitely not least, Waterfront Dining and Caste System Corp with Love. An absolute mega collab. Both artists hit every possible mood or emotion we can feel